Okay, so now we actually come to the exercise part per se, where you can get up a little bit of a sweat. And what Ting's going to demonstrate first is a pelvic lift. And the goal of this is to strengthen the back of the legs and to strengthen the butt. So you ladies out there who need a nice tight butt, this is the exercise for you. You guys out there who think you've got a tight butt, probably you're using other muscles, so that's what tightens up your lower back. So what we need to do is to make sure we're using the butt muscles and not the back. So the foot position is very important to start with. You can actually have the foot slightly pointed, and then I'm going to say to Ting, don't let me lift your foot. And she's very good. Excellent. I want her to keep that feeling when she lifts her pelvis. So she's going to lift her pelvis, the shins are going to go forwards, knees going forwards, her tailbone is moving this way, not that way. It's about creating length. At the top of the movement, we're going to say breathe in. Now exhale and roll down one vertebra at a time. So it's like a bicycle chain getting put down one link at a time. Okay, let's ask her to do that again. As she goes up, watch the ribs. And exhale, lift up. You can see her ribs stay down. Show us what not to do. Lift the ribs. Oh, that's the lower back kicking in, so we don't want that. Good, nice. That goes onto the legs. Exhale. Roll down. By the way, it's very easy to get cramp doing this exercise. If you get cramp in your legs, you're probably doing something right. Okay, let's ask Ting to do it one more time and we'll do a variation. So exhale up. Now, I want this level to start with, but now we're going to say, Ting, can you drop your left side? So she's dropped that, and then when she rolls down, she's going to roll down just on the left side. And this creates a really great stretch in the spine and helps to bring about some balance to the pelvis. So go back up. If she's done the left, we can also do the right. So she's going to twist this way. Great. And then roll down. And now she's stretching all the muscles in the right side of her spine. Okay, let's add one more variation because she's doing a good job, and we'll crank it up a little bit. So lift back up. And we're going to ask Ting to lift just one leg in the air. Great job. Exhale, roll back down. And then to go up, we're going to just have a little rest a second. So when we go up, we're going to use two legs. When we go down, we use one leg. Going down is the strength phase of the movement. That's where we're going to build the strength, and we're really going to focus on the balance and the muscle in one side. So one more time. Can you go up? Good. There's going to be a tendency for the feet to flatten. And hold that there. Exhale and roll down. Good. And you can see how Ting wants to flatten her feet out. That's okay. You can experiment with this. Let's do it one more time. Exhale up. So let's lift the right leg. And then if Ting just changes and puts onto the heel more, that's going to change the way the muscles work in the back of the leg and the butt. So neither is right or wrong, but you can just play with it. Exhale, roll back down. Nice. And that actually, she makes it look very easy, but try this, guys, at home. It's a very difficult exercise to do. Okay, this is actually a strengthening exercise, believe it or not. It might not look much, but we're going to use the breath of our diaphragm to help stabilize the spine and strengthen the abdominal muscles, because your diaphragm works with the abdominal muscles, one's on, one's off, to help stabilize the spine. So let's have a look at what's happening here. Now, she's very flexible, so we're going to ask her to bend her leg. This is where most of us normal people are going to be. And we don't want the weight in the pelvis. So already she's going to have to exhale, switch on her abdominals, and create a little bit of lightness This is what we don't want. If she can show, she's gonna, there. You see, she just folded and rolled back. We don't want that. So the pelvis stays in a position where it just floats up and doesn't roll back. Most of the weight we want going down into this area here, right where the spine changes direction. So the ribs have to stay down towards the floor the whole time. She's creating space in the back of the ribs, and in this position she can just reach up, touch my hand, maybe with the other one. You can do this left, right, 3 times, 5 times, alternate, up to you. Creates a little bit of movement through the spine. Okay, now we'll do the same with the legs. So we don't want to see the legs straightening. I want her to imagine that that's a shoulder blade. It just floats up. It's like the leg is your arm. Nice. And then the other one. Good. One more time. And then we'll bring some more muscles into it. So we're going to lift the head a little bit here. Hold to there. Drop the rib cage in. So now, this did not shorten. The distance between her rib cage and her pubic bone did not shorten. Okay, she's hollowed and lengthened the spine. That's different. And now she's going to lift this hand and this leg. Great. And now this leg and this hand. Good. Strong exhalations, strong inhalations to fix this whole area around here. And you might not think it looking at it, but there's a lot of abdominal work going on here. And normally we would get people to stay in this position for maybe 1 minute, depends on their head or neck. Okay, great, and relax. Okay, you guys, this is the exercise for you guys that have tight lower backs. That lower back has got to get opened out. And the way we're going to do that is by breathing into our belly. So that does 2 things. It strengthens the diaphragm, strengthens your core, releases the lower back. So it's a great exercise to do. If this is done correctly, we're going to see when Ting breathes in, the pelvis move and the lower back just lengthen out. Okay? It's not a muscular action by pumping your pelvis. It happens because you breathe into your belly, the belly goes into the floor's not going anywhere, comes back up and creates a stretch in the spine. So, yep, we can, if you watch my fingers, and Ting breathes out and she softens, relaxes. Now she breathes into the belly and everything stretches out nicely. And she's still staying fixed around this area here while she's breathing in. So now she's got that, we can take that a step further. We can take the hands out to a wide position. And then what I want Ting to do is to lift her upper body and stay there. That's it. It's like a baby crawling position. So you see in this position now, to drop the elbows, she has to rotate in the arm, and that shoulder blade has to drop down the spine. Now dropping that shoulder blade down opens up the front. So all you guys with these tight shoulders and tight pecs, you gotta get into this open position here. Elbows pressing down, opening up the front, shoulder blades sliding down, and we're still doing this breathing. You see, Ting curved up through the spine, but she didn't compress and go back. She's going to carry on breathing into her belly, and so now her weight should be through the belly and through into the pubic bone. She's got 2 points of main contact, and you can stay here for 1-2 minutes, up to you. Some people will prefer just to have the neck straight. Some people might want to put a little bit of extension in there, but our main focus is on opening up the front and making sure we don't compress the spine. Okay, so she's doing a good job. Let's go on to the next step. So we're going to ask Ting to place her head back down. She's going to make a fist with her hands, and she's going to thumb a lift. So the thumb comes up. Now this time we don't want any extension in the neck. We're going to keep that there. She's a little bit high up there. So maybe a couple of fingers from the floor, just enough to switch on the spinal muscles. We need to make sure that we're engaged in the core. Pubic bone into the floor. We're not short through the back. So in this position, she's going to thumb a lift. So if she can lift the arms up, great job. And she's moving from the shoulder blades. So the shoulder blades are acting like a counter lever for the arm. We're not focusing on lifting the arm, we're focusing on pulling the shoulder blades down to get the arms up. So shoulder blades into back pockets. And if you watch very carefully, she has zero or very, very little movement in that lower back. And that's exactly what we want. Nice, good job. So her upper back muscles are doing the job to stabilize so that her arms can move around the rib cage. Very good. And relax. Okay, so the next movement brings the sides of the body into the arms. So we're stabilizing the spine from a different direction, but we're getting the arms to work with us. So this is the side plank, lots of different variations. We'll go through a couple. The first and most immediate thing that I want to say is, let's see if we can see the difference between two movements here. So if Ting can just lift up into this movement here and take the pelvis up, great job. And now come back down. And now let's have a look at the second movement. Did anyone spot the difference? Okay, so the first one, Ting was using her waist to lift up. In the second one, she's using her waist to stabilize the core, and she's using her pelvis to lift up. This is the one we want. We don't want this one. Ah! You see this a lot. Okay, that's not helping the spine. So we're going to take the core muscles to do what they should do, stabilize the spine, and we're going to use the hip muscles to do what they should do and move the hip. Okay, so in this position, Ting is on the knee with the other foot out, and we can hold that for maybe 5 breaths, 20 seconds, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour, up to you. Okay, relax. Okay, then we can go into a double bent leg. Now, if you are tight through your hip flexors here, your knees will have to be in front of your hips. It is not a written in stone that the knees have to go in line. This would be nice, but if you're tight here, the knees have to go in front. So let's see this one, if Ting can lift up. Good, so the knees are in front. That's fine if you're tight here. Now, Ting is not, so we're going to bring her knees further back. And now her knees are in line with her hip is in line with her shoulder is in line with her ear, and she's going to stabilize with the waist and lift with the hip. Nice, good job. We could even lift this leg up and down. We can add some rotations in here. We could straighten the leg. You can do whatever you want. Just focus on maintaining this core stability and the hip doing what it should do. Nice, relax. Okay, so let's lengthen the lever. As a rule of thumb, if you're going to do it on the knee, work the elbow. If you're going to do it on the foot, work the hand. So Ting's going to go onto both feet now, and she's going to use a hand to go up. And this is one position where we stack the legs. So this hip is stacked on top of this one. This hand can be behind the head, it can be up to the ceiling. When I look from behind, I just want to see one straight line. I want to see the core supporting the spine. I want to see the hips doing the work. Good, come back down. Then we can have one foot in front. If you're going to move from this position, it's better to start with that bent leg position first. So you're kind of in this V shape here. Now, and Ting goes up, the head goes that way. It doesn't go straight up, it goes that way. So the butt's going up and the spine's going that way. Good, come back down. We can do it with the bottom leg in front. So this leg comes behind, this one in front. And now here you can see one very important point. Let's do it incorrectly. Look what happens if Ting points her foot and she goes like this. Okay, now let's see how easy it is for her to lift. Well, for her, it's kind of easy-ish, but that's not so nice. That's not giving her much support. So let's change. Yeah, and then you might actually even be able to see how she can get into her core muscles because she's got the outside of the foot working, going up, and it allows the hip to work. If this foot is pointed, you're not getting into here. If you're not getting into here, you're not getting into your core, okay? Great, and come back down. So let's add some rotation in there. So we'll take this leg in front, this one behind. We'll start with the open diamond shape, and then Ting's gonna go up and then add some rotation. And now this becomes a nice flowing dynamic movement. You can go up, rotate, come back, go down. Or you can just hang out there like she's doing and do 100 rotations. It's up to you. Good, very nice. Okay, we're on to our last exercise here. Before we start doing it, we need to get the movement of the body correct. So we're going to ask Ting to move her left hand forwards. And as she does so, she has to move her right knee. And then left knee, right hand. So what we don't want is this. Bam, 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 bam. We want bam, bam. So let's see if she can do that first. Bam, bam, bam. Better than I can ever do it. Good, so we'll make it more difficult for her. So let's ask Ting just to lift her knees 2 inches off the floor. Ha! To do this, she's got to get a very big contraction in her core, and look what happened. You didn't see her butt stick up in the air. We didn't see her back rounding. We didn't see her back arching. She's got everything nicely connected. So now we're going to ask her to do exactly the same movement without shifting up and down. And back. And one more time. She just makes it all look so easy, huh? And relax. Excellent, good job. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little introduction to some corrective exercise. Please remember that we really need to follow a protocol of release. Find the stuff that's stuck, find some way to release it. You can use an implement like a foam roller, a ball. You can ask a friend to maybe help you, a little bit of massage, some friction, anything at all that's going to help open up somewhere. Then you need to stretch it, the stuff that's short. Stretch the stuff that's short. Then we need to stabilize. We stabilize the joints. Muscles work across joints. And only then do we strengthen. So for instance, if you need to work on your butt muscles, don't go straight into working your butt. Open up the front, release the tight stuff at the front, and then and only then should you be working on strengthening your butt muscles. Also, please bear in mind, this is not your workout, okay? This is for you guys that have some shortness, some tightness, maybe you have some pain going on somewhere. You want to release and help to balance areas. And also, please remember when we're doing these exercises, this is not your workout, Okay? You shouldn't feel tired and exhausted after doing this. This is what you do before your workout. This is what you do after your workout. This is what you do when you wake up in the mornings, before you go to bed, or you've got a few moments during the day. People that work in an office, this is great for you guys, you know, tight shoulders, neck problems, shoulder problems, maybe some hip problems. It's very similar to you guys in the gym. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've had to show today, and hopefully sometime soon we'll come back. Thanks for watching.